Okay, so this is how we will be tracking an event. We will have a user ID, we will have the IP details, then we will have start time, end time, user duration. And by the way, this IP details we will be borrowing from a third-party server. Of course, we can like create our own IP tracking server also, but that would be too much because then we have to locate the servers at a lot of places and collect the request and fetch all the details. So for this, we will be using a third-party API. Then we have end time, then we have duration in seconds, and then the event. So we'll have like view image, click button, and so on. Currently, these are only two events that we would be triggering. We can have multiple events, but let's stick to this only. So let's quickly do our thing. So first we would need to yarn at express ws json web token and .env. So these are the packages that we would be needing, and in case if we need something else we would add it as. So here we are done. So let's quickly add a file, index.js const express equal to require express. Okay, and then const app equal to express, and then we will use const ws equal to require express slash ws of app. Okay, so these would be the first steps. Okay, so now we need to have a function which would create and verify JWTs. So we will have auth.js. Here we will have const JWT equal to require JSON web token. Okay, and const create JSON web token. So here what we will do is we will create a JSON web token, and we don't need anything. We don't need ID. In case if you're storing information and doing some tracking, that is fine. But here we just want to create it. So JWT const token equal to JWT.sign, and for signing it, we need to do .env configuration. So require .env.config. Basically, this will load the environment variable. So let's create a .env file, JWT secret, and this is the signing secret that you would keep private to your server. So for now, it is some random string. Let's go back, and then we will have two options here. We will have path. So we will keep path as the same path and .env. And I think, yeah, that should be good enough. So what we will do is token.sign. We will sign some like, we can have anything like, let's say, analytics. We can we just want token. We don't want to, let's say you had some user data that you wanted to store. So you can pass in that user data as a payload. And then let's say username, something. Okay. So you can just type in here and then use the password, whatever you want, you can, put directly here. All right. And then we have the payload is there. So we need to do secret key. So it would be process.env dot the secret key that we just created, which is JWT secret. So that is there. Okay. And then we will do module.exports equal to create JSON web token. Okay. Or let's do it a little bit smaller, get JWT. All right. So this is one thing. And now let's come back here. So we will do get JWT equal to require auth. So I think this is there. Let me log it to see everything is working fine. So I'll do yarn dev. Let me just quickly see what we have in dev command. We have dev nodemon index.js. So let's do yarn dev nodemon index.js, and we see undefined. So I think we are not returning. Yeah, we need to return this return token. And let's now see again. Okay, now the token is generating. So our first step we are done. So, and of course we need to also add a expiry time. So let's have expires in. This is basically how long you want your WebSocket connection to be. Okay, like let's say you want to be maximum a user can be on your website for certain time, right? And the reason because you want to keep this is you want to shut the connection immediately after that, even though user is on your website, because you see WebSocket cannot scale vertically. I mean horizontally. Okay, WebSocket is basically continuous connection. It is like so let me quickly add a page. So the way WebSockets work is that if I quickly add, let's say this is client one, and let's say I add one more client two, and let me copy this, paste it a couple of times, 3, 4. So let me keep it here. Okay, and let's say we have, this is our server. So let's say this is our server. So, the connection, the way WebSocket works is basically, it connects to client to server, and this connection never breaks. Okay, it will keep the connection alive for as long as you want to. Okay, so this is how the connection works, and these connections, since they won't, break at any point, as your server, as the client increases, this connection will keep on happening, and then it would be, lot of load to your server. So you want to make sure that you always kill the residual connections or the connections that last too long. And for that purpose, we would be having, this WebSocket expiry time. Okay, so that is what I would be just showing you right now. So let's say expires in, let's take it as 1 hour maximum. Okay, There are some specific syntax, so we can always check this out. So let me quickly go at WebSocket, sorry, JSON web token expires in, and you can see a lot of examples. I think this one would be better. But yeah, let's see. So you're 24 hours, right? So you can also use M for minute and so on. Okay. So example, 2 days, 10 hours and all that. So I'll be using, 1 hour, which I think would be, because your portfolio website is something that people generally would visit for a maximum 5 or 10 minutes. So I'm just keeping it in, 1 hour. Okay. So this is one thing. Now this one is for getting JWT. Now we also want to validate JWT. So whenever we get the token, we want to make sure that it is valid token. Okay. So we will do a try method. So what we will do is JWT.verify. In verify, we will put the token, and then from token, the secret would be process.env.jwt secret. Okay. And we don't want the payload. We just want to try, and if it verified successfully, then we will return true. Otherwise, what we will do is catch error. Okay, and here we also want to check. So what we will return is client valid. That is number one, and also if the session is expired. Okay, so what we will do is session expired. Okay, so this also we will return to false. Okay, because session, if it is expired, then we will get an error. Okay, so if the token has expired, we will check, to make sure that it has not expired. So we will do token expired error. So this means that if the error is token expired error, that means token is valid, but it has expired. So we will return is client valid to be false and is session expired to be true. Okay, so we will use these two things and try, and we have covered try also, we have covered catch also. So hopefully we get the thing. And let's just go back to index.js, quickly check this. So console log and validate JWT. And let's, keep the token that we already got, because I think this one would have a longer expiry time. And I see that, okay, we can keep it like this. So, and of course we need to import this also. And before that, we need to export it here from here. So now I think it says is client valid true, is session expired false. Okay, but let's say, let me do it for 1 minute, and whatever we get. So this is the token, and if I try it just after 1 minute. Okay, so now I've replaced the token, and let me run the dev, and you can see that is session expired is now true. Okay, so based on this, we would be, actually deciding what to do next with that particular client. All right. So anyways, let's move ahead, and let's just quickly, get rid of this. And so now we have our auth ready. So in the next tutorial, we will see how we can use this in our WebSocket application. Okay. Until then, stay tuned and thank you very much.